So after months and months of prayer, fasting, just submitting ourselves to the will of God and really preparing ourselves for tonight, everything leads to the first ever Glorified concert here in Bridgeport. We have the privilege of being able to do it here at the Bijou Theatre, which in itself is an extreme honor. And to think about everything that led up to this, it's just hard not to acknowledge God's hand in all of it. Before I go into the process and before I go into what made tonight, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came through, everybody that bought a ticket just to support. I want to say thank you to QuesThorough. Thank you for your yes, man. I appreciate you coming through. Thank you to Pastor Lewis and Citywide Worship for being here tonight. And I just want to say thank you to my brothers, Bala, Bembo, D.O.W, and Bethany Yvette for being here tonight. Matter of fact, be on the lookout for her first project. We're working on it right now. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. Shout out to Debbie and Askar for being our co-hosts for that night. And to see y'all up there and to hear about the impact that y'all had that night with the words that you brought, I just want to say thank you for letting God move through y'all. In addition to that, Andy, thank you for lending your vocals to Five Moons, and performing it with you tonight was special. Along with the girls that put together their routine for Yeshua, to the crew that sold merch for D.O.W and Citywide Worship, Julio for making sure that the logistics all came together the way that it did, like for real. Everybody that made tonight possible, like from the bottom of our hearts, man, we can't thank y'all enough. I think as we reflect as to what the night brought, the goal is just to give God all the glory, right? Which is why we called it the Glorified Concert. Shout out to my beautiful wife, who was in prayer when the name was brought to her. She's got an act for that. The Holy Spirit just moves in her. To be able to do it at the Bijou Theatre is something that, for us, being from Bridgeport, growing up here, riding our bikes around downtown, and seeing what the Bijou Theatre has become, and over the last few years, over the new owner, Louis Zayas, we want to just thank you as well. Thank you for taking a chance on us. I had the privilege of meeting him in a meeting, and I think we immediately felt that this was something that we both wanted to do here. And we booked this event in October. And now it's June 7th, which also happens to be my 34th birthday. They caught me off guard with a cake, but I'll get them back for that.
God make me great. I put my faith in God.
What y'all think about that song? Hey, yo, Andy, bring me my oxygen tank. Listen, man, so I just want to say I'm glad that y'all all came out. That's my beautiful wife. Shout out to my beautiful wife. That's my wife. Those are my kids right there. And they're definitely a major part of why I do what I do. But listen, man, I just want to come up here and just keep it real with y'all. God did something in my life, man, that I can never take the glory for. You know, at the age of 15, I ended up being on my own because I, initially wanted to act grown, wanted to do my own thing. And I had to find out that the world is cold. I became a drug addict at the age of 15. I slept on the streets at the age of 15. I walked around not knowing where I was going at the age of 15. I continued to do drugs. I ended up joining the gang. And even when I didn't know God, He rescued me. And it isn't until now that I look back and I can pinpoint Every single time he rescued me. At the age of, I say 23, I ended up incarcerated. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how I got there. I was ripping and running so fast that it was like 1 minute I was a kid, next minute I was in jail. And at that point, I had nobody to talk to. I couldn't talk to nobody. Nobody couldn't get me out of that situation. I was guilty. Like, I was supposed to be in jail. So Jesus came and rescued me again. But this time it was different. This time I said, listen, you can have it. You can have me. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. And I gave everything to him. And it's Jesus that rescued me my entire life. He goes by another name. And that name is Yeshua.
For us to ultimately be in the same building, worshiping the Lord through hip hop, live music, through worship, and for it to come together the way that it did. And I know for us, as we reflect on tonight, something that really stood out and really resonated was when we opened it up for prayer towards the end of the night, and just to see the amount of folks that came up to the stage and just to watch God move, that was really beautiful for us to see. Right? Like, there's a certain point where you plan and you try to provide as much structure and you want that moment, you want that night to go as seamless as possible, right? When it comes to sound, when it comes to the visuals, right? But it's so important to really submit and get into just a moment, a place of getting as close to God through prayer and fasting and digging into his word. Because when those moments occur, you just got to let the Spirit move, and you just got to have the discernment to just take a step back and just let it happen. And it happened at the Bijou Theatre, a secular venue, right? Dead smack in the middle of downtown Bridgeport. And that's something that I'll never forget. And as the night wrapped up and we were able to just take a deep breath and a sigh of relief, knowing that tonight finally happened after all the planning and months of preparing as much as possible to ensure that night could be as successful as possible, to ultimately bring it back to why we even initiated this event. And that's to just bring it back to God, man. Just to bring it back to him, because that's what tonight was about, is him. The good news is, y'all, we'll be back next year. So we're hoping for fall 2025, Glorified 2. Be on the lookout for more information as we get closer to that. But one thing is for sure, God got all the glory, and that's the goal.
He died on the cross, the third day he rose, they still want the proof. Well, I'm living proof. There's no way I can save myself, but the world told me to go save myself. I was messed up, I was pride driven, I was high like I had 5 visions. Seen a call in hell, took a drive in it. Then I wonder why my mind's slipping on my eye twitching. Keep your eyes set on God and keep him out my business. Yeah, he a jerk, he say he Christian. Jesus spoke, but they took it different. Fisher a man, but the hook is missing. Chains on me like a crooked prisoner. Escaping jail like my name was Chapel. Bet you ain't know that my name was Pablo. Put in position to reach the lost, and he changed my life so I could preach the gospel. Preach it! Preach the gospel, 10%, giving back the tribal. Pay the tax, fix the potholes. Keep your hands off whatever's not yours. Give it to God or the devil got you. Riding with Christ or the El Diablo. Kept the door closed and did the lock though. You thought about it, so that mean he got you. The devil was shaking inside of his boots. Yeah, inside of his boots. He thought they ain't had me, but I shook him loose. We shaking him loose. He died on the cross, the third day he rose. They still want the proof. He died on the cross, the third day he rose. They still want the proof. I'm living proof.
As long as God and I'm alive, then I'll transcribe out all the times he took me from that pit I was supposed to die. I look into my son and then I look into my daughter's eyes. I'm motivated to provide. There's a reason I'm alive. They ask me how I stay inspired. I pray in choir. Where's the Spirit leading me? Stand behind them like a choir. If that means walk in the fire, think about Adonijah, Mishael, and Azariah. Trust I'll come out with the Messiah. My Messiah. Woo! I'm a Messiah, he's the truth. To bear fruit he wants for you, that transformation's from the roots. Pray for guidance, wisdom too, he died for me, I live for you.
How you so sure that he's real?
Man, I'm living proof.
The devil was shaking inside of his boots.
Inside of his boots.
Inside of his boots, he thought they had me, but I shook him loose.
But I shook him loose.
We shaking him loose, he died on the cross, the third day he rose, they still want the proof. He died on the cross, the third day he rose, they still want the proof. Where I'm living proof.
Let's go.
Yo me levanto otra vez cada vez que yo me caigo y salgo blessed. En mí, bajo de mis pies, como Bruce dando combate. ¿Para qué?
¿Para qué?
Para que los demonios se están fuertando con la escritura. Yo los amenazo, rompo cadenas y están los lados. Estaba en un mundo diabólico que te quiere alcohólico, seco sin el Holy Ghost. Tengo el mensaje apostólico. En los altares hoy día hay mucha chuleta. Sacrifica corazones más que una teca. Muchos ciudadanos matando más que el de Guerra.
No camina ni con Cristo ni con la chancleta.
Ay, 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 me enferma. Figura es evidencia que Dios llega en hora buena, rompiendo el esquema, también el sistema. Tenemos la solución para este problema.
What's his name, bro?
Se llama Jesús, el logo, palabra y la rema.
No digas ese nombre que me quema.
Let's go.
Inside of his boots.
Inside of his boots.
Inside of his boots, he thought they had me, but I shook him loose.
But I shook him
We
loose.
shaking him loose, he died on the cross, the third day he rose, they still want the proof. He died on the cross, the third day he rose, they still want the proof. Where I'm living proof. Hey, 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 hey.
Man, how many y'all can say, I'm living proof? Woo, woo. If you only knew, right?
I got a question. Are y'all cool if we do a brand new song for y'all tonight? This song right here is called 5 Wounds, and it's supposed to represent the 5 holy wounds of Christ. His hands, his feet, and his side. Through those hands, we were carried. Through those feet, he walked with us. Through 5 wounds I was forgiven, the Lord's risen. The tomb's empty, no more prison, the prolific. 5 loaves for 5K, he provisions. The flow's given, he's with me through every road driven. Through 5 wounds I was forgiven, the mortician is not needed. The Lord's risen, I won't give in. He makes bold, the most timid, got no business being where I'm at. To save souls, the sole mission. Through 5 wounds he was nailed to the cross, forgave all of our transgressions, yeah he's bailing us all. John 15 verse 5, we are the branches, we're called to bear fruit. Without him there's no advancement, come on. He's at the right hand, he is the sun. His enemies try to end him, but fail to realize he won.